breakthrough
Did
days.
you?
And I
We did.
say briefly, it's because actually once you're there, you don't tend to do a lot of mixing with people because it's
No,
obviously,
it's all about yourself. Isn't it? Once you're
yeah,
there, it's you know, that's what you're there for. Sort
mm,
yourself out.
yeah. And it's, I mean, I loved it. It was really good, and I'd like to try
I
and
got a
do
lot.
another one.
I got a lot out of that day. I probably will get back to another one. I should imagine there's always something to work on, and
Yeah,
once you sort of like dug deep into one thing, you might go, your mind, it's like you did it with, we did it together. So when you was in like, you thought you was going to go to a certain place, and you didn't end up going to that place. What you thought you was going to go back to, and and I think a lot of people got confused with that. Were like, putting their hands up, like Mr. Shorman or
yeah.
I didn't go back to where he went. He went, I can't help you with that. That's you. That's
I
your
mean,
mind.
I'm quite open about. I'll be honest about the thing that I went back to because do you remember the 5 emotion things he did in the
Yeah.
timeline? The only one, two stood out, and I can't remember which part of the emotion was, but one was like a past life thing. I was in France, like in a Catholic church, and that was just like brief, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" But the
All right.
second, the one that stood out that was a real game changer to me was nothing I ever expected because I was expecting like issues from my childhood with my dad or things like that. No.
Yeah, yeah.
I got reminded of this memory of this girl who was a girlfriend when I was like 10, 11 years old,
All
right?
right.
This is what I mean. Right? This is, it just threw me completely.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I I remember, so we went to separate schools when we left primary school, and we went to separate schools in secondary school. And she kind of dumped me when we went to secondary school, but it was like just, you know, we were what, 11, 10, 11 years old, or whatever it is when you start
Yeah,
secondary
yeah, yeah.
school. So it's not like you even dumped, you just stopped seeing each other because you go to different schools. And I bumped into this guy, and I remember his name was Stephen, and I remember the girl's name was Sarah, but I'd forgotten about her for 40 odd years. And it suddenly come back that he was like, yeah, that Sarah's telling everyone you can't kiss. That was the memory that popped up as something that's
That's
held me
it.
back. Yeah, and it's like, what 11-year-old does know how to kiss? Do you know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I remember being sat at that moment listening to this guy, coincidentally, this guy called Stephen, who was like, we must have been about 11 years old, and he was telling me about, and I felt really stupid, humiliated, and embarrassed. But
Amazing, isn't it?
yeah,
Really, like what it remembers and clings on to. You
yeah,
know.
but I mean, I I probably forgot who that girl was by the time I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
But
But then you still went back there. But you still went back there.
I'm
You know.
47 years old, and I'm still holding on to that memory from when I was 11.
Yeah. I definitely went into some different places where I didn't think I was going to go to, but on the way back, on the way back, I drove. I drove there and back. Did you drive?
Yeah, because I'm
And
based
I did
down
some.
in
I did.
Salisbury in Wiltshire.
Right. Well, I did bring someone with me, but she was like, "Don't worry. Uh, I'll be quiet as a mouse on the way back. I'm really tired." I was on the way there. She was just talking away. Blah blah blah. Like just, like, just like, all right, tell me about everything. I'm like, I have Vinny Shorman. She was telling me, but and I think, I think she was a little bit nervous, so she was probably just getting things off it. Like I said, let's just relax. So on the way back, she was like, oh, I'm tired. Don't worry. So I thought, right, I'll have a good bit of thinking time. I don't mind a bit of motorway driving me sometimes. You can get into your thoughts and you can have a good think. And she just didn't stop talking. Bam, 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 bam. All about hers, man. She went back to like. So it took me the next day. Really, I really had a good think the next day. I don't know. I think Vinny gave me a call next day. Actually, said how are you feeling? And actually, I felt really good.
Yeah,
Uh, and I went, I'm still processing it all. To be honest with you, I think it took me a few days to really sink into and process everything. And yeah, I was bouncing around for a bit after that.
yeah, it definitely unravelled a few things for me. I mean, I see a therapist, a lady called Cavanagh, and she does timeline therapy, but the way they do it is very different, and it's probably more likely because she does one-to-one. So it's kind of, I'm not sure what it was that I experienced that was different because I've had massive insights with her. So I'd
Well,
recommend it to anybody.
yeah, definitely. And I think that's really good that you chose to, because some people, what I mean is, it's different. Everyone's different.
Mm.
I'm a different trainer to somebody else, and you might, but we all say we're our strength conditioners, or we all say we're personal trainers, but we all got our separate and our little ways of doing things. Uh, Nothing. It doesn't mean it's wrong, or doesn't mean he's better, she's better. Just like what you get out of me is what I'm going to put into you, and this is the way I'm going to do it. So, you know, you like you said, then you got a different experience because the two different people putting their own experiences into what they're good at.
I also realised as well afterwards that possibly one of the reasons I'd got a different experience is because I'd already done some of it. So,
Well,
because
that's the reason I want to go back,
yeah,
you know, and see what happens. And yeah, because I definitely sorted it out. What the at that time, or will I go back to the same place? Yeah, that'd be quite weird, actually. I mean, quite thing to find out that will I go back to the same place or will I go somewhere different?
you know, and obviously the difference when I'm with Caroline is you're focused on a specific thing that you want to work on anyway. So again, whereas with Vinny, it's a group setting, so it's just like this is where I'm going to take you, and
Yeah,
you make of that what you will.
Do you imagine if you focused on something and you're getting some time on therapy, then you're already thinking about it and you're going to go back there. But with Vinny, like we opened our mind, like that outer experience, floating out your body, going up to the ceiling,
Yeah.
coming back down. I think that got us going, and then we went in, get down into that point, and then you were just like, I was just shut, and I was just like going through the time. I was like flying through everywhere, and then I sort of went somewhere, and I went somewhere else straight after as well.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So